Welcome to Support Life, a program focusing on current social issues from a life-affirming perspective. I'm John Hendriks, and this week our guest is Conan Hayes, a young person with a heart for pro-life. Welcome, Conan. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, John. Thanks for having me on here.
Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't know. I grew up in Gippsland. Then I moved in here to the city to study at Monash University. So yeah, I'm just 22 and studying part-time and flipping burgers at McDonald's.
Fantastic. Whereabouts?
In Clayton, right next to uni. So
okay, you're living in Clayton and working in Clayton.
And studying Clayton.
And studying in Clayton, because Monash is in Clayton as well, yeah. Tell us, what are you studying at the moment?
Astrophysics and a bit of history as well. So
astrophysics. Wow, what's that involve?
A lot of maths actually. Yeah, mostly. You get your observation, so you get your telescope and you record whatever you're trying to record, maybe a star or some pulses from a black hole or a magnetar, and then you just crunch the numbers and try and work out what's happening from that.
Fantastic, very good. And tell us, you're the 13th child of 14 kids, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, not so much for me. I'd say mum and dad are the amazing ones. They're the ones who had to raise us all. Who knows? I wouldn't have wanted to raise me.
No, that's fair enough. What's it like living? I mean, I'm an only child, so I'm amazed to hear it. What's it like living and one of 14?
Well, it was only all 14 of us in the house for a few years, but because there's a substantial age gap. But it's pretty good. There was always company at home. Come Christmas or Easter or maybe a wedding or some other family event. You always get a nice large crowd coming in. So
yeah, and is it true that the older ones look after the younger ones in a larger family, or not to every degree?
They'll look out for you. If you get in trouble, they'll be there to back you up. But I don't know, at least with my older siblings, they felt there needed to be a bit of a learning curve too, so I need to go out there and do stuff. So
yeah,
learn
fair enough.
Myself.
And you guys lived in Gippsland. So did you have a farm, or was it just a large property, or?
We ourselves were on a large property, but we were surrounded by farms. So
right,
got to learn about milking the cows, all that sort of jazz.
All that sort of thing. Yeah, fantastic, excellent. Look. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the pro-life movement. When did it start for you?
I suppose it probably started when I would have been about maybe 8-10 years old. My parents have always been very strongly pro-life, and especially my older sisters were very involved in the pro-life movement. So I suppose they sort of rubbed off on me. So from about that age, they sort of instilled the idea in me that it is another human being and that all human life is precious, and we should try and save lives and respect all life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it just sort of grew from there.
Yeah, and we were speaking earlier that when you were in VCE, year 11, year 12, we were talking about that how at that stage it sounds to me as if you had conviction, a little bit of conviction about this subject. And tell us a bit about what happened then.
Well, back in year 11, that was when the 2008 abortion laws came in. So I had a lot of lively debates with my fellow students in the school. But I suppose one of the things that really made that the catalyst for me was the fact that it didn't allow the freedom of conscience for doctors, and especially not for nurses. And when I've got a couple of sisters who do nursing and a couple of friends as well, the idea that a country that prides itself on its freedom and the idea that people have the right to be able to choose, and that it wouldn't allow that sort of right to medical professionals, it didn't sit well with me at all.
So for our viewers who may not understand that, so what you're saying is that if a nurse doesn't want to perform a certain task or that she's asked to do, under the current law, you're saying that she has to do it, or she's not able to say she doesn't want to do it?
But if she's working in a hospital, with the right facilities and that, she doesn't get a choice in getting to say no, because she's working in the department. She essentially, under her contract, is obliged to do what she's told. She doesn't get any moral right to objection.
That'd be terrible if you believe in something and your workplace says you have to do it, and you don't want to do it, and you're told you must do it, and that must be horrifying to go home and know that you're forced to do something. Is that really what happens, or?
Thankfully not to anyone I know, but I have heard of it happening to some of my sister's friends. So
yeah, that's certainly a concern. And when you were in year 11, year 12, you trying to get these points across to your fellow students and your colleagues and people at school and debating it, I guess. What did you find was the general sort of feeling?
I suppose the general feeling, I suppose that actually relates a bit back to what I said before, like the right to choose, that a lot of my fellow classmates and that like supported the law on the basis that they thought that a woman should have the right to choose to terminate life. So I suppose that's where we just had that fundamental difference. Like I saw it as, it was still killing another human being, so we don't have the right to just walk in and put a cap in someone's head. So why should it be any different if they just because they don't have a voice to defend themselves, or they don't have a body that we can see, just off the bat?
Yes, that's right. I guess people are. What do you think? They're confused about it, or they're selfish, or maybe a combination of all of these things, or they don't understand.
I wouldn't say selfish or anything like that. Most of the people I've talked to who support abortion are your average person. They're nice people. I'd say that's mostly just a lack of knowledge. Like they themselves don't see it as another human being, or they don't know it's another human being, and they're thinking, a woman has a right to do what she wants with her body. So it's more just each person thinks that they're right, and each person's doing what they think is the right thing, and that's where I think the major divide is in between the.
Well, doing the right thing. I'll have to interrupt you there. We're going to do the right thing just in a moment. We're watching Support Life. We'll be back shortly, straight after the break. Welcome back to Support Life. I'm John Hendriks, and our guest is Conan Hayes. Conan, just before the break, before I interrupted you, we were discussing the choice that women have, or perhaps people maybe not completely understanding what it means to have a choice. Explain that a little bit more for us.
I suppose that's a bit of a long-winded answer to that. I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but mostly I feel that in this society, why we do pride ourselves on a freedom that obviously, we do have various laws in that, because we don't always have the right to do whatever we want. And, you don't have the right to, go to a bank. I don't have the right to go into a girl's toilet because I feel like it. But, it's the idea that, we generally, our laws are there to protect other human beings and, protect the lives and freedoms of those other human beings. That's what the General Institute of the Law is for, and to, keep society running.
Yes.
And so, with abortion, it's the idea that you're taking another person's life, that it's so that it is inside the woman's body, you still can't just end another person's life in that way. Yes, absolutely. No, look, I agree with you. And with your current, volunteer work at the youth, you're involved in the youth. Is it the Youth for Life? Yeah, Youth for Life.
Tell us how you got involved with that.
Well, the original Youth for Life group got started up, I think it was some 8-10 years ago. Sort of went dormant for a while, and then one of my friends, the current president, Stephanie Ross, she went and sort of reactivated it. Started trying to pump a bit more life into it, because she wanted to get more youth out there, talking about the abortion issue, telling other people about what was happening, and what the law was and what it meant for people. And she asked me to start helping her out with that.
Okay. And what were the sort of things that you were doing exactly there?
Mostly I'm sort of the handyman person. I just do what needs to be done. I just help organise events, help run events, help try and get people to come along to events. I have a lot more appreciation for the behind the scenes stuff now that I've been involved in it a bit.
Absolutely, it's never easy, is it?
No.
And tell us, did you go to the March for the Babies?
I did.
Okay, how was that?
I really enjoyed it, actually. It was nice to see that there were so many people who were willing to, take out a big chunk of their day to come along and support the march and support the ideals behind it. And it was also really nice to sort of see the dignity and the good nature of the people there, the way they behaved, the way they carried themselves. Even after we were having abuse and, like, in some cases, eggs and oranges from the more out there counter protesters. That they didn't go out there retaliate. They didn't try to throw things back.
Yeah, that's true. And did you have anything thrown at you, or did you get attacked, or did you manage to escape all of that?
I managed to dodge a couple of eggs.
Dodge a couple, yeah. Okay. And did you through your Youth for Life, did you do any work to organise to get people there? Did you? I suppose your committee went and other friends came along. Did they?
A lot of people I know came along. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can personally claim I got anyone there, but I did try to get up my friends and everyone to come along.
Sure.
I told my friends, told my family, told my other friends who were a bit on the fence of the issue to come along, come see what it's about.
Sure.
Get a bit more informed about it.
Yeah. And your family, have they been pro-life? I mean, you mentioned your two sisters, or one or two of your sisters were involved in it. Were they've been active, involved in this area? Is that sort of fair to say?
Yeah, I suppose one a bit more than all the others. Just my sister Veronica was the president of Right to Life Victoria for a while. Yeah, and she ended up having to leave because of she had a family of her own and she couldn't quite juggle the two. But
sure. What number is she in the pecking order, Veronica?
Yeah, hang on. She would be number 8.
Number 8. Okay. So she's a few years older than you, but it's good to learn from older siblings, especially in this field, isn't it?
She's got the experience.
Absolutely. And now that she's had 1 or 2 children of her own, So your family would be pretty delighted to know that you're involved in Youth for Life and that you've come on speaking about this today and went for the March for the Babies. I mean, they'd be pretty happy, I would imagine.
I like to think so. But I suppose even if they weren't, I'd still be out here. But,
yeah, you'd be doing it.
I think they would be happy with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, what are the future plans for Youth for Life? Have you got any upcoming events or anything like that at the moment, or what are you thinking about?
We're pretty much finished for this year, so we've got a sort of end of year Christmas celebration. So we're still trying to work out exactly what we want to do next year. So that's what the committee's on at the moment. So when that happens, we'll be sending out emails to all the members and to anyone else who's interested. And yeah, other than that, I suppose our long-term goals are we want to just get people more informed about the whole issue. Get people more active, especially the youth, and get out there and show people that it's not just grouchy old men who just want to stop women from having abortions, squash their rights. That it's actually young men and women who disagree with the entire principle behind the act.
Yeah, and if young people were looking to, say, get involved or do something, I mean, what could they do?
I suppose they could. We would like them to join us. Youth for Life. We've got our Facebook page. We've got the email address, youthforlife@gmail.com, and or they could contact me as well at hayes.conan@gmail. And yeah, or maybe even if they want to write a letter to their politician, or maybe just write a letter to the local paper, donate to a pro-life cause. There's a lot of things out there you could do if you want to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. They could certainly, build awareness amongst their friends and just Facebook it and just have, what we're trying to do on this show is promote awareness and openness, and we don't want it to be the elephant in the room subject. So, hence what we're doing, our Support Life program, and we're really looking forward to speaking to more and more people like yourself and getting the word out there. But we're also got a number of viewers who are asking the question, what can I do? What should I do? Sometimes they're just unsure as to what they think, that it's going to be a big fight, but it's not about that, is it?
Yeah, no. Like, I mean, even if you're not the sort of person who likes confrontations or anything, you don't want to be out there like standing in front of an abortion clinic, like trying to talk to women and like offer them help or anything. You could even, there's great programs and groups out there like the Babes Project.
Okay.
Who just rather than...
On that note, on the Babes Project note, we will be back shortly to discuss that. You've been watching Support Life. We'll be back straight after the break. Welcome back to Support Life. I'm John Hendriks and our guest is Conan Hayes. Conan, just before the break we were talking about the Babes Project. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, they're a great group actually. I'm not sure how long they've been around. I'm pretty sure they're fairly new because, yeah, not many people seem to have heard of them yet. But yeah, they're a fantastic group because often what we get asked is, when we're out there protesting against abortion or like trying to tell people stuff about it, they go say, oh, well, what can you give the woman as an alternative? And while the Babes Project is actually a group of men and women who actually do give women an alternative, they provide, especially struggling young single mothers who often don't have the financial capacity to support themselves or their new child. They'll help support them through their pregnancy. They'll give them, clothes and furniture and, food for the baby. Just,
That's
try and make it
excellent.
as easy as possible for the new mothers.
That's excellent. That's very, very reasonable. Absolutely.
It's a fantastic group, the Babes Project.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to look them up for discussion, future discussions. You have aspirations to make Youth for Life Australia-wide, in contact with other groups and pro-lifers in other states. Tell us a little bit about what you guys want to do there.
Yeah, well, we're still trying to make ourselves a presence in Melbourne so far. It's been interesting. We've been discovering that, there is a lot of work we have to do behind the scenes to get an organisation up and running and, keep it on its toes and keep it moving. So, but once we've got it all handled and sorted out, we do want to try and expand out so that we are an Australia-wide presence, and that so all of Australia is hearing the youth's voice. That we don't agree with abortion. It's not just something that we're going to sit back and let happen.
And did you say you had a website, or you were building one?
We do have a website.
Right.
Afraid we just moved to the new one actually.
That's okay.
So I can't give you that. At
That's
the
all
moment.
right. No, that's fine. So tell us. We discussed talking about you want to assist with the abortion problem counselling services, working towards creating a constructive approach to both education and the public, as well as providing services. You just expand on that for us, please.
Well, yeah, we do want to try and provide services towards women because we do actually want to give them an alternative. We don't just want to be the heavy-handed iron fist that strikes them and says, no, you can't do that. We do want to say, we do actually care. We do want to help. We do actually want to, show you that society does want to actually help you to be a young mother and have a beautiful young child. Because outside of abortion clinics, often what we hear is, I don't have a choice. A lot of young women have been pressured in by family or by a boyfriend who doesn't want the responsibility, or they just don't have the financial support. So we want to try giving that. We want to try offer counselling services. So the financial help if we can, or direct them to people who can provide those.
Sure.
And
do you, along your travels in the last few years, do you recall any examples that you can give us in speaking to people? Maybe you've convinced people to change their mind even if they weren't facing the dilemma of a pregnancy, but have you got examples that you can think of or something like that?
I've actually never been the best public speaker. It's only recently, over the past couple of years, that I've sort of come out of my shell a bit. But just when we've been out protesting, at various places out in public, we have actually had people come up and talk to us and, just ask us questions about, well, why do you actually believe that abortion is wrong? They haven't just come up and shouted abuse, or, they haven't just come up and said, you're wrong, and then walked off. They've actually come up because they actually want to try and understand why we think what we do. And I'm not sure if we ever have positively affected them, but I like to think that we have, and that we gave them something to think about, and they went home and thought about it more and changed their minds. But
sometimes there's a ripple effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
They discuss it with so many people and the seed's set, but the decision's made at a later date, and
you don't get to
see
see
the benefits of it, but you've done the hard work. And from my homework that I've done, 18 to 30-year-olds is the general proportion of where the largest amount of abortions are. Is that what you've experienced as well?
I'd say so, yes. I mean, I've generally only been here in Melbourne to experience it, so I can't say I've really had a wide-ranging view all around Australia or all around the world, but from my own personal experience, I'd say that fits the what I've seen.
Yeah. And is it a general sort of rule amongst young people? Is it a general sort of understanding amongst young people that, you know, it's sort of like a crash and burn, sort of a bit of an attitude with relationships? If find there's a mixed bag, people are serious about a relationship if they're in one and the lady gets pregnant, unplanned pregnancy, or is it just a bit of a crash and burn, I don't care? What's the young feeling at the moment in circle of friends and
I suppose among my friends, most of them, like both the religious and the more secular ones, they tend to be more stable, serious relationships. I mean, I do know of people like that sort of crash and burn relationship, as you put it. You know, as soon as something bad happens, they're out of there. But and I suppose it's just like the older generation. You know, you've got that mix among the younger people.
Absolutely. And a major component includes providing a forum, safe environment for pro-life workers to unite, draw on common stock of resources. So explain a bit about what you mean there.
That sort of has to do with like expand to an Australia-wide thing. We do want to network with other pro-life groups, and you know, we want to make sure that everyone's like working together to try and achieve that same end.
I think that's a fantastic approach. And from the amount of people I've discussed it with and interviewed, I think that approach is fantastic. And I would personally like to introduce you to other people in the associations that I've interviewed for you to, you know, continue your very, very good work. And really thank you for coming on board today. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You've been watching Support Life. Join us again next week. Goodbye for now.